So my name on my business card is Kanishk Mishra. Essentially in the job, I look at the financial model that sits behind an infrastructure deal, and I make sure that the elements such as cash, tax and accounting are properly considered, as well as learning about the project and the different requirements of the projects that we look at. So I studied a Bachelor of Commerce at university, majoring in accounting and finance, and I applied for the graduate program at Lendlease, which was a 3-year program back then. Now it's a 2-year program that's offered to graduates. So the things at university that I really that really helped me towards my job are essentially corporate finance, project finance, a bit of property finance as well. But anything to do with analytical sort of research, analytical studies is what I generally use in my day-to-day work. So Excel skills, as well as basic accounting and taxation. Yeah, I definitely do think that someone from a different background could do my job, as long as they have an analytical sort of focus. Someone from, say, an engineering or science background would definitely help. And as long as you also have a liking towards and a passion for infrastructure and financial modeling, you should be able to complete the roles and tasks of my job. The areas that I like most about my job are the projects that we get exposure to based on how large and the size of Lendlease is. There really aren't many infrastructure projects that we don't or not exposed to in that sense. And what that does is that we can really, when you're working on a financial model, you're working towards a tangible project, something like a Darling Harbour Live or a Sunshine Coast University Hospital. These are projects that we contribute towards, and to help that, and when you're walking past these sorts of projects, you feel a sense of accomplishment, and that's what I really like about my job. So this might sound really strange, but the biggest limitation is that you only have 24 hours in a day, and when you're working in a deal or on a really tight time frame, which is normally what happens on a deal, you really value every minute you have, and sometimes you might work a little bit longer than the usual. So that's the biggest limitation that I find. The other thing is that with any any financial modeling sort of role, you can't get your head around it straight away like other roles. So it takes a long time to get your head around all the elements, cash, tax, accounting, on financial models, and then you've got to consider the project attributes that make each project different. So it's not just one size fit all. You have to understand different types of projects, whether that be healthcare or retail or defense or transport. The biggest piece of advice that I'd give to my younger self or anyone else at university is don't limit yourself in terms of the career that you could have after you leave uni. There are so many industries out there. There's so many sectors, just like infrastructure, which are so broad and have limitless sort of opportunities, that the sort of narrow mindset that we can get ourselves into at uni can really limit us in terms of where you want to go. The other thing that I'd like to say to my younger self, if I could, is take advantage of the flexibility at uni. You go overseas, spend a semester on exchange, get the sort of experience when you have the chance. And the last thing is don't stress so much. I think that was the biggest problem that a lot of university kids have, is that they stress about what's going to happen to them and what are they doing. Everything will end up okay eventually.